Welcome to the Wally Show Aftercast. All the stuff we did not get to during the course of the show today. It's great to be back. We were in support drive all last week. We got so close to our goal. We had some potties give during the event. It was so nice to see people say, I'm a potty and I listen and I love supporting this. It comes out we were about $5,000 off of the goal, which might not sound like a lot. Wow, you made all that ground up and you got to that close. But it's like you still want to get to the 100%. And so we still have the link up if you wanted to throw a couple bucks at it and make a difference. That would be huge. Just text the word give to 91979, or you can go to wayfm.com and give that way. Speaking of money, Lady Rock, I'm in a situation like you where I'm newly single. And I am newly single. And
I'm telling you what, though, I've gotten a glimpse of what it would be or what you were before you got married.
Yeah.
So Marty, his wife, is out of town, and he's had the whole weekend to himself.
She's coming back allegedly.
I can't wait till she comes back because you have been on another level.
Yeah.
I think it's because you've spent too much time alone over the weekend.
Probably.
And you didn't have anyone to bounce things off of or pick on.
Yeah.
And so you're just...
I'm sharing that with you.
I know, and honestly, I already want a break.
I know. We need a break. It's one day back. No, like, so I'm curious about this for you, okay? So I'm trying to make dinner decisions, all right? And I start thinking about it, and there are all these places. Okay, I could go this place to eat. I could go to this place to eat. But then I really started thinking about it, like, financially, and like, wow, that is really expensive. Like I went on Saturday night. I went to Five Guys against my better judgment because they're so ridiculously expensive. They've lost their minds. But I really like their fries. And so I hadn't had anything all day to eat. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to go and I'll splurge on my dinner. But then I didn't want the whole dinner because then it started getting expensive. So I got fries and a drink. I got their smallest fry, the little fry, and a drink. It was $9.49, and I did not tip. Like $9.49 for that meal. And so then the next day I was like, okay, because I'm trying, usually when my wife is gone, I'll make mashed potatoes and eat that with ketchup and like have nothing while she's gone. So this time I'm like, okay, that's not healthy. I'll go and I'll have dinner.
You're doing the same thing. It's just in a different form.
I guess it was mashed potato. I guess it was solid potatoes and ketchup.
Stupid.
I know. And so like I was like trying to decide where to go eat. And then I'm like, so I don't mind going out and sitting by myself and eating. Like, it wasn't like, oh, I don't want to be seen by myself eating. Like, it had nothing to do with that. But as I started figuring out the cost of it, I was like, oh my gosh, no, I don't want to spend $18 on a meal by myself. That's insanity. And so, like, I thought, because you love food, but does the price of food make you choose lesser options than what you really want? Or do you be like, I'm going out and I'm getting what I want?
I've never really, I think food is my weakness.
Yes.
And there's a lot of times where if it's expensive, I'm okay with it because I know I can make 2 meals out of it.
See, and your logic popped into my head because you and I had a phone conversation and I thought about going to Chipotle, but I knew they were going to charge me $12 for the bowl. And then I've got to cut it in half. So yes, it's a $6 meal if you eat half of it. So that does make sense.
But also too, as a single person, I don't have to worry about children or a spouse and having to figure out the price that comes with that.
It does get expensive.
And so it's just me. So if I'm going to spend that much on food, well, then it's just me. It doesn't matter.
I always feel bad for my friends Paul and Rhonda who have 3 girls. And I think they are 16, 18, and 19. Or so. They're all between like 20 and 16. And so we go out to lunch every Sunday after church. And the other day we went out for my birthday. Whoever's birthday it is, you get to pick. And so I picked.
But did you really get to pick?
Not really. My wife. No, I did actually. I was going to pick something she likes. But finally I'm like, no, it's my birthday. I'm doing this. And so I picked Red Robin because she doesn't like Red Robin.
What is there not to like about Red Robin?
Couldn't tell you. I think it made her sick once. And like if it makes her sick once, it is dead to her. And like, how did I survive? I don't know. Because I'm sure I made her sick. But then like, so we go there and his girls, at least, they always order off the kids menu. Doesn't matter where we're at. So like when we were checking into the thing and they don't look like children. They're 16 to 20. And so, the guy goes, any kids menus? And I'm like, oh yeah, 3, because I'm just used to it. That's what they want. And then I'm like, but they don't need crowns, because he looked at me like, where are these kids you're talking about? But that's the only way with multiple kids that you can even remotely eat on a decent budget. Either that or there's a hack going around in going to Texas Roadhouse and ordering and splitting up the meal between all your kids.
I went with a family that goes to my church. We all went out to eat at Chewy's yesterday, and they have 2 kids, and they ordered the cheeseburger kids meal and half the
Halved
burger
it out,
and then halved out the fries. And they loved the chips and the salsa and stuff. So
yeah, especially a place like that or a place that gives you bread to start with, you could eat a smaller meal for sure, or split it with your kids, because the kids don't eat most of their food anyway. And like I've gotten to where most times I will split my meal in half. But yeah, I was really thinking about this. And so there's a place down by me, Grecian Pizza, and they have clams. And like fried clams, and I love them. They're so good, and they give you a giant portion of them. But it's not cheap. Like I went online and was like, oh man, yeah, I've forgotten how expensive things have gotten there. It's good, but then the fried clams are basically frozen fried clams. Let's be honest. And I've got an air fryer, so I went and I bought them for $6 at the store, and bought some tartar sauce that I'm gonna elevate, and I'll make that for dinner tonight. But then they also wanted me to sign up for an account to do an online order. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm drawing the line.
It's so weird how you are like, no, I don't like that. I don't like that. That's gross. That's nasty. Clams, yes, I'm in.
Yeah,
it's like
I love
saying
them.
like sardines, yeah.
My mom.
The grossest thing you like, but then the normal things you're like, ugh.
There was a place in West Palm Beach where I grew up called Proctor's, and they had this fried fish that was amazing. They had shrimp, just a great seafood place. And my mom hates seafood. Like we would do shrimp cookouts at my house, and my mom would eat something else because she doesn't like it. But she loved clams. And so she would always get the fried clams from Howard Johnson's. That was the other place. Like Howard Johnson's used to have a restaurant, and they were so good. But that's where I got my love of clams, was from my mom, because she always ate them. And so
your love of a sweet tooth.
My gosh.
With your fudge.
I'm still working on that fudge. I made it like over a week ago, and it's been in my fridge, and it's so good.
And tell everyone your win.
Oh, the support drive win? Okay, support drive. They bring in lunch for us so that we can eat and work and all this stuff. And then there's always all this junk food and stuff. And so I was trying not to have a bunch. Like Betty Rock is in charge of breakfast. She decides what everybody's getting that day because she loves food. And she spearheads the thing. She does a great job getting everybody's orders and stuff. And so I was trying not to go crazy. But I ended up having breakfast most days. Then I wouldn't have much lunch. And then I'd have dinner, or I wouldn't have lunch at all and have dinner, or I'd have lunch and not dinner kind of things. I was trying to balance it out with like Weight Watchers, and I hung at exactly the same weight. I made it through support drive without gaining an ounce. That was a big accomplishment for me. I'm like, oh my goodness. I stayed at 164.
Though,
so
if anyone saw that video that we sent out on Friday of you lifting up your shirt to show what 100% of WayFM funding would look like, or something like that.
Yeah. Thank goodness there was a dot that covered it. But yes, so I am wearing a shirt I haven't worn in 2 years, though, because I fit in it now. So
wow. And it covers up the belly button piercing.
Yeah. Yes.
Which was
A
unfortunate.
must. Yeah, that's a must. Yeah, there's not like, I'm not going to oversell this. There's not a 6-pack ab under here, but at least it's smaller than what it was, But yeah, so to make it through support drive with no weight gained, that's unheard of. That's another miracle. Getting to 99 point whatever % and not gaining weight during support drive, 2 miracles that happened.
Also, tell them about the near mishap you had where you had to call poison control.
Oh, yeah.
Because his wife is out of town, so no one's watching him.
I know. It's like a child. I got epoxy in my mouth because I was working on something, and I tried to take my glove off with my mouth, and it turns out I had epoxy there, and it got all over my face. And so, like, I had to use.
Which is not anything you're supposed to put in your
No, I
mouth,
know.
Your eyes,
it tasted
your
horrible,
nose.
for the record. And then I had to use a cat flea comb to get it out of my beard. So it was a day. I had a lot. I had a busy day. I sweat through a lot. I think that's why I lost a lot of weight, though, too, or why I stayed the same, is because I sweat in my garage. I worked all weekend in it, and then I didn't like eat a ton.
That's not what you're supposed to do. That's exactly what you did on one of those compassion sites where they were like, okay, we're going to go help this guy build a roof on his home.
That was a lot of work.
And then you took over and did it all.
Yeah.
And then you were sweating like a pig.
Yeah, I passed out.
And almost passed out. And then you were like, I said, did you drink any water? Oh, no.
Yeah.
I didn't drink any
I did
didn't eat
yesterday.
anything because you didn't like what they had. So
I did drink a lot of water yesterday. I've learned to manage the passing,
I know
like
what it's
the
like to be a
lightheadedness.
parent.
Yeah. I know.
I feel it.
Yeah.
The pain,
you're
the
welcome.
struggle.
Yeah.
Where you just have a hard-headed kid that just does not listen.
Yeah. I've learned to manage the blackouts to where I know when I'm getting lightheaded. Like, okay, just squat down and you're good to go.
Learned to manage the blackout.
I see them coming, and then I just kind of like squat down, breathe through it, and then
That
like, oh,
is
good to go.
horrible. That is horrible advice.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Lady Rock, what do you got?
Well, I've got a predicament. So, not mine personally, but one
Nuts.
that's going.
I was hoping for drama.
Yeah, it's going viral online. So it's about this woman. She got on Reddit. It's this app that you can go to kind of get people's opinions, things like that. Well, anyways, she is going through a predicament where Thanksgiving will be here before you know it. And she thought, I've been hosting Thanksgiving at my home for the last decade. And it's her, and she's got 6 other sisters. So
I'm surprised they didn't rotate.
Right? There's 7 in all, okay? So she's got 2 older sisters, and then it's her, then the rest are younger sisters. Well, she sent in the group chat, her family chat, she said, hey, this year I think I'm just going to give the baton to somebody else. Somebody else needs to host it because I just need a break. It's just a lot. Now, keep in mind that all sisters have at least 2 kids, if not more. So it's a lot of people. You got the grandparents, all this stuff. And she thinks she's given them plenty of headway so that they can figure out a different path. Well, she got a lot of heat from especially the older sisters. The older sisters were telling her that she was being selfish.
What?
That she was ruining this family tradition that
the tradition of them not having to cook or clean. Yeah.
So,
the person that hosts, it's never fun for them.
Right. And so she said, for Christmas, now given for Christmas, another sister has always hosted Christmas, but she gets it catered.
Oh, cheating.
Right. And they said, too, that this sister that posted about the Thanksgiving situation that she's been hosting all this time, she supposedly has the biggest home. So it makes it easier for Thanksgiving. But she's tired.
Yeah.
And there's people that are saying different things. Some are saying, oh, yeah, like you have every right to say you need a break and that's fine. Like they'll just need to get over it.
Yes.
And then there's other people that are like, yeah, but you set the bar and you made it everyone assume that you were just going to take this over.
Well, no, like that. Yeah, okay, you assume, but you can change that too. Like we have our friends. They always did Thanksgiving for a lot of years, and they would have family that would travel in. They would do it. It got so big that they would have to rent tables and chairs to bring people in. So, and it was a lot of work. It started 2 days or 3 days before, and they were just exhausted every time. They loved doing it and stuff like that. But then they were like, yeah, I would love someone else, one of my other siblings, to cover it. So much so that they finally just moved. They're like, we're going to move way away, and no one will drive out here. And so now the Thanksgivings are way shorter. But then everyone in their family moved to where they're at, almost. So they're gonna be stuck hosting again. Like they didn't get out of it completely.
Well, what did y'all do like growing up? Because you have 4 brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I have 1 brother and 3 sisters. We always did, a lot of times we did stuff at my grandparents'.
Okay, but once the grandparents go, then who takes over?
We would do it at our house, but it was usually just our immediate family. We didn't have big things like that. We did like Easter with all of our extended family at my grandparents and stuff like that. But yeah, I think really, when my grandparents ended up passing away, we stopped really doing stuff with the rest of the family. They were like the key to everybody getting together on Sundays after church and stuff. It is interesting how something like that can change a dynamic. Even at a company, you can have 1 or 2 people that are really vital to that company's culture, and they leave and it just withers, you know? And so they, or like a a mom passes away, and that mom was the glue in that family, you know, and that was kind of like Marty's mom held everybody together and kept everybody in, you know, updated and stuff and in each other's lives. Like Marty keeps me in contact with my family. Like if Marty wasn't so good at that, they would probably think I was dead. Like, yeah, I mean, it's just, I hate
terrible.
it. Well, the problem is I'm wired that way.
No, you're not.
I am.
You have allowed yourself to get that way.
That's a wiring
No,
thing.
it's not.
Okay, look.
No, it's not. You could tell a mass murderer.
Yes.
And he would say, well, I'm sorry, I'm just wired that way.
We're going to talk
Would
about
you
this.
say, oh, good point, valid point?
Probably. But we're gonna talk about this maybe tomorrow, because I have a thing on this about being wired that way and how you have to retrain yourself. And so on some things, I think you definitely are
predisposition to.
Yeah, I really do think that.
I agree, but that doesn't mean you should use it as an excuse.
Ish, but agree to disagree.
No.
I think that's one of the ways that I'm wired, and I'm seeing it in my daughter, though. I'm seeing my daughter is wired that way. Like every time I get together with everybody in my family, it's great, love it, have fun. But maybe it's self-absorbed or something. I just get so hyper-focused on what I'm doing that I don't open up my communications to a lot of other people to just check in or what have you. And my daughter's wired that same way. She gets focused. She's doing what she's doing. There's no problems. She's not calling, you know? And then when she needs something or there's a problem, or when she goes for X amount of months and then she's like, oh, I just need to talk to you guys. It crushes my wife. But I get it because I'm wired the same way.
Yeah,
there's
but it
times where I'm
crushes
like,
you a little bit too, because there's been times where she's sent you a text and you just were like,
oh yeah. Oh no, I love it. That's the thing. I love talking to her. And when I would love to talk to her like, you know, every week. It would be great.
So doesn't that do you think that maybe if it bothers you that way, then maybe it bothers others?
Oh yeah, I've thought about
So
that.
you
And if
need
I
to
wasn't
change?
wired this way,
No!
then I could change. But I just
Have you
can't.
told that to Marty?
What?
That Haley gets her
Oh yeah. Yeah,
from
yeah.
you, and that, oh, well, she's just wired that way.
Yeah.
There's nothing we can do to change it.
Oh no, I have. And I'm like, if you want to have
You've
that,
gotten on to Haley about not
I have.
calling.
I've not calling me, but calling her mom. I'm like, her mom needs that.
No.
Yes.
No, that's not fair.
When have I gotten on to her about not calling
That's not
me?
fair, because that doesn't matter, because you're just like saying you need to change, but I'm not going to change.
No, I'm not saying.
Yes, you
no,
are.
I'm not saying you need to change, because I know it's not a long-lasting change. I know that whenever I talked to her, I said, look, your mom needs to hear from you more. Like, she needs this in her life. And so I need you to do this. I know you're not wired this way, but I need you to make an effort, okay? And then she'll do it, but then I know it will wane. And so then I'll hit her up again sometime, like when I hear things from Marty and stuff like that. And so, like, one time, what's it recently? We were on the phone. We were on FaceTime with her. And, she was talking about Marty coming down and visiting. And so Marty was on the fence to whether she should go down to Florida to visit her. She turned out she went because vacations are fun. And so she chose to go down there. But Haley was on the phone with her. And I'm texting Haley, tell her that you need to see her and she will come instantly. Because Haley was like, you should come down. And Marty was like, no, I don't know. I've got to get a ride with somebody and stuff like that. And then I'm like, tell her you need to see her. And she'll be there in a heartbeat. And so then at one point, Haley goes, you know, I just need to see you. And Marty goes, are you texting her? I'm like, yes.
Was she hurt by that?
No, not really, because she went. So, no.
Mm.
It's just funny. I don't know. I just understand human nature to a degree, and I try to make allowances
So you're
for it,
saying
except when it
the
gets into
rest
my
of us
world.
don't understand
Yes.
human nature, and we don't make allowances.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, that's ridiculous.
Yes, and that you want everybody to just operate the way you want them to operate, and that's just not reality. Now, I want people to operate the way I want them to.
Exactly.
But that makes sense because my way is really good.
I can't. I need to go home.
Oh, yes. So we are going to talk about this. I haven't formulated fully how we're going to talk about this, but I did. I had an honest, like, serious thought about how I always say I'm wired this way. But, like, if you have a stroke, you have to retrain your brain to do everything. And I had seen this story at church. That's what started this. And I'm like, oh, yeah, they're retraining their brain. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, I get it. This is applicable in other areas as well to my life, too. So, anywho. Do you have any birthdays we need to catch up on?
Yes, I do. Let's see. Mimi wants to wish her daughter Lizzie a happy belated birthday. That one happened on the 10th. She said she is a joyful girl with a fantastic sense of humor and a loving heart who shines God's light wherever she goes. That's
happy
beautiful.
birthday.
Katie wants to wish 7 weeks away from my and Jesse's, her fiance's wedding.
Oh, wow.
Oh, well, Katie and Jesse, shout out.
Nice. Congratulations.
Lydia celebrated a birthday on the 13th. Happy belated birthday, Lydia. John and Elizabeth want to wish their son, Michael,
the Clausens,
a happy birthday. Said he's caring and curious and loves the outdoors. Elena, she celebrated a birthday on the 15th. So happy belated birthday. John and Elizabeth want to wish their son, Mark, a happy birthday. He celebrated on the 17th. So he's very creative and loves his job creating cinematography.
Yeah, he does videos and stuff like that. Yeah, I've seen some of his stuff. He's really good.
All right, and so we've got a question from John and Elizabeth. Have you ever gone on a road trip with multiple people and vehicles, and what was it? And was it a success or a failure?
Went camping before with multiple people.
How old were you?
Oh, an adult. Like Haley was probably 8 or 7, something like that. Mm-hmm. And it went well for most of us. Like most of us in
that category?
Yes, we all got it. Like we extended the group out. Like there was like our family and another family really close. We used to camp together, used to do everything together. And then it got extended out to a couple other families at church. Mm-hmm. Oh, hey, we're going camping this weekend. Why don't you come? Mm-hmm. And it changed the dynamic, and it made it so not fun.
Really?
Like, yeah, it really did. Like, because when you travel with people that you're good at traveling together, because everybody's different. Everybody has different tolerances. And you find that group of people you can travel with, you want to protect that. Because other people upset the apple cart, or they whine about stuff that you don't care about, or they want to dominate something. Or one lady, they just left at some point in time. They left like a day early.
No.
Yeah, I swear, because they were just not fun. And maybe somebody might have said you're not fun. I don't know.
Oh my gosh, you said that.
I don't know. It's not important who said anything.
Oh,
but
Wally?
No, I don't think it was me. I don't think it was me. I don't think so.
Oh, okay, sure.
It's back in the day.
Yeah.
And so, but like when we met Greg and Molly, and we did you always do like one little test trip, a short one, just to see, you know, and then if that goes well, then longer. And so we were doing trips out of the country with them and our daughters and stuff. And we still travel so well together. We've done cruises and stuff like that. And they are like our favorite people to travel with because we travel very similarly. So that's the biggest thing, is you got to have people that want to travel the way you do, or else it's just not fun.
What about when you were younger, though?
Well, when we were younger, we camped a lot when I was younger because it was cheap. And so we had family friends that there was probably about 4 different families, and we would all get together and camp. It was great. Like as kids, we loved it.
But not
There's
camping,
always some
traveling.
Drama. Well, that's traveling. You don't think that's traveling?
Well, I guess we would just camp in the backyard.
Well, no, we went to actual campgrounds and drove places to go camp. Your family's great. Hey, Toot, we're going to go camping. Yay! This looks like the backyard. They blindfold you.
Yeah.
They drive you around for
it was
45
the woods anyway,
minutes.
so it didn't really matter.
And then they put you in the backyard oh my gosh, I have a swing set like that one. Crazy, right? You never caught on till you were like 25.
Yeah. My traveling, I remember traveling once to Arkansas. I traveled with my aunt and uncle and my 2 cousins, and we were in a sedan, so nothing big. And the 3 of us kids sat in the back, and I sat in the middle because I was the littlest. And my cousins were brother and sister, and they got these gargoyle puppets from Pizza Hut.
Nice.
It was when Hunchback of Notre Dame, whatever, came out, and that's the prize you got for the kids. And I remember them hitting each other through me.
Yeah, you're in the middle of it.
And that was horrible. Then a really bad rainstorm came through. We had to stop underneath a bridge and wait for it. it was a totally different world compared to I had the whole back seat to
Right.
myself as an only kid.
The
you know?
princess.
And not the princess. That's just how it was.
No, it's just there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I have a princess at home
It's how
too.
you said it.
No.
Anyway,
I get it.
So I had to
raised a
travel with
princess.
them. I had to travel with them, and that was interesting. Traveling with my dad was interesting because it was his music. And sometimes I didn't care for that music. So I would have to have my own CD player, my own headphones.
And he wasn't a big fan of rolling down the windows with secondhand smoke.
He cracked it open at least. But he would smoke a cigar or a pipe, and he would steer with his
knee.
elbow.
Oh, yeah.
And he would, puff on his pipe, and you would see the speedometer go from 80 to 50. And we were just never going to get there. The best, though, was when I got to, they threw a twin mattress in the back of the bed of the truck, and I got to go travel all the way to Arkansas in the back of the truck.
It's like having an RV.
Yeah,
like
my
as a
parents were
kid.
like, if you see a cop,
Duck.
Yeah. And I got chips and books.
Oh, that's awesome.
I could open up the little
the
window in the back and be
crawl
like,
through because you were
hey,
little.
what's everybody doing?
That's awesome.
It was so much fun.
Yeah, my daughter liked being an only child till she got a little bit older, but then it was like, well, would you want a brother and sister? She's like, no. Like, we're good. I'm good with this. I think now she thinks about it and thinks, oh, I probably would have liked to have had that.
I think the hardest travel for me was traveling with Wally.
What?
Was and is.
What?
What? Well, you're sitting over there going, is it cold in here?
Yeah.
And then you
I got a jacket
complain
on.
for at least 30 minutes to an hour about
Right.
how cold the cabin of the air
I do that,
is.
honestly, just to drive you nuts.
But don't do it. And don't act shocked when I say you're the hardest to travel with.
I do it to be funny.
But it's not funny. You sit over there and you're like, if the stewardess comes by, tell her I don't need any ice for my drink. I'm in the grips of hypothermia.
I'll just
Feel
hold
my
the
neck.
glass.
Feel my neck.
My neck is cold. It was really cold.
Gosh.
You know what? You should just
And then
retrain your brain.
Then he gets out his Funyuns or some stinky little snack
What?
and stinks up the whole plane.
Everyone
It's
enjoys
rough.
Funyuns. Everyone enjoys Funyuns.
It's so rough. Thoughts and prayers for our next trip.
Well, yeah, it's gonna be to Africa, so
No.
yeah, it is.
No,
Yeah.
I'm out.
I know. I already did the groundwork for you. That you might not have to go.
Gavin needs to go on this one.
I know. Gavin will go on
Can
this
you
one.
imagine though? Like he'll have to stop so many times to pee.
Oh yeah, when you get
And
into
so
Africa,
help me if
yeah.
he says, "Well, we're pregnant with another kid,
yeah,
and it's going to be
He's
right
not
at
going.
the trip," I'm gonna be like, "Too bad.
Yep, you're going.
Too bad. You going, sir? I'll be there with Haley so she can have the baby. Don't you worry about it."
Yeah, it's weird. Like the older I get, long travel, multiple flights, bad accommodations and stuff like that, it wears on me a little bit more, but I really do love it. Like I still love going to Africa, being out in the woods and in the bush and meeting people and the heat and all. Like I love it. Like that's what we go with compassion, and it's just the trip I look forward to all year long. I've worked for a lot of years, and I prioritize vacations. I think they're good. I got a bunch of vacation time, and I love going on vacation and recharging.
Yeah.
But
And I love that
those
for
trips,
you.
I think I love those.
I
trips.
love that for you.
Yeah.
I love the experience. I'm so thankful that I can say that I've been to these countries.
But getting there hurts.
Getting there
Yeah.
and then getting back
Yeah.
is just torture.
Yeah.
And especially when the longer that the flight is, the more I'm just like, I can't, knock me out. Like,
yeah. That's the thing. Yeah. I mean,
I can't do this.
yeah, they should do things like with people where kind of like wanted to travel in deep space, you need to go into suspended animation. They should literally just give
Prep
you
you.
give you like a liquid that when you walk on the plane, hey, I'm a horrible flyer. Oh, good, drink this. Glug, glug, glug. 2 seconds later, you're out. Well, I guess a lot of people do that with alcohol, but then they get belligerent, But like if
But
they give
something
you
to
like
knock you out?
NyQuil, put you out.
I would say hit me up once
Yeah.
and let me have a second just in case the first doesn't take me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure I'd be in.
Oh, for
They'll
those
be like,
long
it's $50 more. I don't care.
done.
I don't care. I
I-
mean, sitting in coach with the crying baby and
Yeah.
the gagging and coughing and
Yeah.
sniffing people, that's fine. Knock me out. I don't even know I'm there.
I will say the best 50 euros I ever spent was at a place called the Yotel. We had flown in and we had to leave like Italy at 3 a.m. To fly, and we did our next layover in Amsterdam, and we had like a, I don't know, 4-hour layover or something. And we went to in the airport, they have a thing called the Yotel. You can rent this place to sleep, basically, for a couple hours. Holy cow.
Was worth it?
Worth every penny.
But did they clean the sheets?
Oh, yeah. It's a miniature hotel room. It's just really small. Has a bathroom and a shower. So I went in, I got showered from traveling, and then we slept for a couple hours. Game changer for getting on that next 10-hour flight. I felt so good after that. So, I highly recommend it. If you're doing a leg trip.
I would just worry about the germs.
Well, no, it's just like going to a hotel anywhere.
I worry about the germs with the hotel.
Do you really?
Well, yeah.
Oh, I don't think twice about it.
You haven't seen those TikTok videos
Nope.
of people that find hairballs stuck to? Yes.
I don't watch it. I wouldn't care. I mean, I've eaten an ice cream sundae with a hair in it and went okay. I try not to think about it. I do get a little more grossed out at stuff than I used to, but I try not to think too much.
And that's what I don't understand. You are it goes back to the sardines or whatever it is that you like to eat, the clams.
Mm-hmm.
You'll sit there and you'll lick a trash can or lick the underside of someone's foot and not gag at all.
As a joke, right?
But you will not even touch a thing of broccoli.
No.
Or if you do, you're like, ugh.
Broccoli's gross. Broccoli is so bad. There's nothing redeeming about that at all.
That's what I don't get. How do you dry heave over broccoli, but not over licking someone's shoe?
I don't know. Yeah, because I'm not swallowing
broken.
No.
Something's broken.
Maybe so. All right.
So.
Well, it is good to be back. Thank you so much for missing us, those of you who did. And we will do this all again tomorrow. And Gavin should be back next Monday.
Help me.
I know. I'm hoping that something isn't well, I've got another week. I'm going to take it off. So.
No.
I know. Yeah.
No. I mean, I'm glad that he's got his little kid. That's great. But
that's great, but now it's affecting me.
I'm pulling 2 people's, and I load, and I can't. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
All right. Well, that was one day.
I know, and I'm already over it.
All right, that's going to do it for your Aftercast. Thanks for being a potty.
Growing up in poverty has never been easy for children, but with the added challenges of the pandemic, conflict, and natural disasters, families around the world are facing an unprecedented food crisis. Unfortunately, those who are already hungry are now even more desperate. But by sponsoring a child through compassion, you can help provide life-sustaining essentials such as food and clean water. And with your compassionate support, that child can not only survive, but also flourish. You can find out how and choose a child to sponsor when you click on the compassion banner at wayfm.com.